What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? In this video, I'm going to be going over why regular fair value gaps are failing you. Okay, it's a very, very simple fix, but hopefully by the end of this video, I'm going to help you fix the problem of why fair value gaps fail and why you keep getting wrecked on fair value gaps. Okay, it's a very simple fix. Like I said, it's costs no money. It's a completely free video. I'm not going to try to sell you anything. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the video. I drew some fair value gaps in my chart. Now let me darken them up a little bit so you guys can see them. All right, I drew 4 fair value gaps in my chart. This is the first one. The main reason, okay, why fair value gaps fail you is because you do not understand liquidity. Okay, this is a great example and I'll show you why. So this is a great fair value gap to use. Like, I guarantee if we tapped into this fair value gap, we would have bounced off it. Okay, it would have been a great fair value gap. And it's because we swept this low, right? We swept this low. We barely displaced below it. And we have not hit any liquidity above or any bearish fair value gaps above. We have this high and this high. Like, we have not hit any of them. So in replay mode, right, if I go to right here, this is a great long setup. I would totally buy this if we went into it, and I would get in and probably print, okay? Where some of you guys go wrong is some of you guys, like, you see, okay, this fair value gap isn't retraced into, and you're like, okay, well, when it is, I'm going to buy. And we go up, we come back down to it days later, and you're like, okay, I'm going to buy now on the fair value gap. It's a good fair value gap. I plan to buy this Tuesday, and now all of a sudden it's Thursday, 2 days later. But by the time we come back down to this fair value gap, we've already taken out way too many highs, right? You never trust the fair value gap after you've taken out so many highs. Only trust the fair value gap before you've taken out liquidity. Like this one, it would have been fine. But days later, after not rebalancing it here, I'm expecting it to likely get filled here and probably go back down to sell side because we already took out the highs up here. So that's like the first and biggest issue I see with a lot of newer traders. They think just because this wasn't balanced there, they think, oh, it's going to be balanced off here. But that's not the case if we're going to take out a bunch of highs like this. It makes no sense to bounce off of. Now, we do get a little reaction off it, and you're probably like, oh, why not scalp this? But that's not going to happen every time, and half the time we're just going to knife through that. So that's just something I learned from experience. Another example would be here. This is perfect. This is a great one. Okay, why does this work, right? This works here, but not over here. Same reason. We had yet to hit this high, which you can clearly see the market was kind of curving towards this high in form of a buy model, and we had yet to hit it. So I know when this fair value gap forms, I'm going to take the retrace into this because we have yet to hit it. And look on the left side of the curve. We also inversed a very obvious bearish gap here. So we're on the buy side of the curve, and we can tell that, one, because we have a nice curve and momentum going towards this high, and two, because we inverse this gap. So I'm expecting this bullish gap to hold now, right? And you can see it just works beautifully. Now, this is hindsight, but I do call this in live time every day. So I'm just trying to teach you this, and you'll learn it in live time, okay? As you all know, I only use inverse fair value gaps. And recently, I made a full free PDF of inverse fair value gap rating setups that I use to rate my own setups A through C. So if you want to check that out, just click the first link in the description. It's completely free, and hopefully should help you. So you can kind of see this was a one to long. Now I wouldn't long it, right? We've taken out too many highs to long it. If we came back down to it, I would not long the unbalanced part. It doesn't make sense. We've taken out too many highs, and I wouldn't long it. And you can see, if we play price a little bit, price comes all the way back down, and it just gets knifed through. Again, you get a little bounce here, but this bearish fair value gap's respected probably because we've already taken out so many highs, so this is not going to be respected, okay? So this is a bearish fair value gap, right? This is one of the bearish fair value gaps where it's like, it's from too long ago. It's on the other side of the curve. Never short these. Only use these ones as inversions, okay? This one, you can see when we close above it, this is where I typically tend to long right here. And I'll target the next highs or wherever, but these ones are so far left on the opposite side of the curve that I will never short these. Now, you do find some speed bumps here, but that's the only thing there are. They're only speed bumps. They're not actually things you want to sell from, okay? They're not gaps you want to sell from. See how on the sell side of the curve, it worked here, right? It's the same concept. right? We took out some liquidity here, got a very bearish reaction, and it worked on this side of the curve. But when we go back on the sell side of the, or the buy side of the curve, I don't trust it. Okay, you don't trust it because it's already worked. We've already taken out the lows. We're way too low. We took out so many lows. We took out this low for a manipulation leg. We took out this low. We're just so low. I would not short this. I'd wait to short until we took out more highs. Okay, in order for the market to reverse, you must have highs be taken out in order to go lower, and you must have lows taken out to go higher. And at this point in time, we didn't have any highs taken out to go back lower. So you wouldn't expect this to hold. And that's the other mistake I see people making. They think, oh, well, it worked here. Why wouldn't it work here? Because we've already taken all the lows. It just doesn't make sense to work. Even if this did work, would I care? No, because it's not something I would ever taken. Okay. Last but not least, we got a very nice, obvious bearish fair value gap here. Okay. This, like, it almost looks like it tries to get rejected, but it just doesn't. So this is a good one to go over because in this one, it's kind of stair steps through it, and then we just totally break out. Well, you're probably like, why does this work? We didn't take out any liquidity, technically. You're right, we didn't. But what if I told you, look at this. Do you see this reaction to this low right here? And do you see how low we are in the range compared to what happened? Right? Look how low we are. We dumped so much. And this is like 1,000 points lower from in the last day. Okay, this is 19,900. This is 18,900. That's down 1,000 points. We're so low. All right, and that's when you kind of see this is your liquidity sweep. We don't have to sweep liquidity again. Like you think we have to sweep liquidity here again. You don't, because we already did here, and we already got a bullish reaction, and we already got kind of a market structure shift here. So all that I'm thinking is this is just a retracement, and this low is kind of protected since, again, we're very low in the range, and this looked like a really bullish reaction. It was just almost instantaneous. So you can kind of see like that's how, it was just quick. This is protected now. I don't care if we hit this or not, and that's why like this is a fair value gap I never take, even if it did work. So there's a lot of things that go into it, right? You don't want to short fair value gaps this low. You don't want to long fair value gaps way up in the range. It's just, they're going to fail eventually. And try not to go for lows that already have taken out other lows and highs. You know, it doesn't make sense. But yeah, hopefully you might need to rewind this video a little bit. Just these 4 examples are like the most general examples I typically see people like kind of going over and kind of messing up on. So again, a lot of reasons why fair value gaps don't work. These are the main ones. Make sure you're prioritizing the highs and lows, and you'll be much, much more profitable. Okay, and hopefully you can pass your funded challenge or get a payout with these tips. That is all I got for today. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to use code Dodgy. There is a discount right now on Apex, link in the description. And yeah, you can practice this stuff if you want on those accounts. They're pretty cheap. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace.